Hello and welcome to this channel. This video is pertaining to anyone who, after they got married, didn't move in with their husband to a new apartment, but instead moved in with his parents. And so essentially you moved in with your in-laws. But not just your in-laws, you also moved in with someone who is non-mehram, and you are someone who wears the hijab. So a non-mehram being like your brother-in-law, which is the situation I'm in. I have a brother-in-law in my house and I want to cover in front of him to sort of maintain rulings of Islam. And so the video sort of expresses my experience with this and also some advice that I would have liked when I was starting off on my journey of being a wife in a house with in-laws and a brother-in-law. Before I get into the advice, I would just like to say that I understand what you're going through, okay? It's not easy to be newlywed and be really excited. You know, you're glowing like a newlywed bride.
Shining like a newlywed bride.
Sort of thing. And you can't express that as fully as you'd like to because you have a brother-in-law in the house and you need to cover up. It's very frustrating, but some certain things you have to do, and you know, you will get so much ajr and so much sawab, good deeds for doing this. So I really commend you for being strong and continuing on this journey. And also something that someone told me once when I was kind of feeling a bit down about not being in my element, not being the prettiest that I can be in the house that I live in, is they said, oh, you may feel that you don't look very beautiful, but imagine how beautiful you look to Allah right now, right? And that was a bit of a game changer for me, and it really changed the perspective of how I see people in the world. You know, we look at all these people on billboards and movies and we're like, oh, they're so beautiful, etc., etc. But does God think they're beautiful? That's the real question, right? So that is something that really changed my mindset. But all in all, it is hard. You know, it is hard to be young and be beautiful and want to express that, and you can't because you gotta protect your aura, you could say. So these are some things that I have implemented that have helped me overcome this better. So the first piece of advice that I would give is, if you live in a double-story house, I would suggest living in a way where the floor is to you. So for example, me and my husband, we used to live on the second story of the house that we live in, and all the bedrooms were there. All the family members lived there. But then due to some circumstances, we moved downstairs and there's only one bedroom on the ground floor of the house. And so it kind of feels like we have our own house with our own living room and our own kitchen, and that we have neighbors living upstairs. And that has helped significantly. It really has helped with being more private. It's helped us have a bit of a separation with the family. You know, it kind of feels like me and my husband are a family, and then we also have other family upstairs. So that separation has really helped. But also when it comes to covering, you know, let's say I want something from the kitchen, I can really quickly just kind of run out without my hijab on, grab whatever I need, and then come back. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I lived upstairs, because upstairs you come out of the bedroom, what if someone's outside? So that is something that significantly helped us. So it might be different for you. There might not be a lot of bedrooms or a lot of space upstairs, and so you guys could move into that and kind of create your own little world there while the rest of the family stays downstairs. The second tip that I would have is to invest in clothes that fully cover you but make you feel amazing. So I have a couple of pieces that I wear that really help me feel put together, and they help me feel like I'm the main character in the house. I also get complimented on these pieces a lot as well. One of the pieces that I have is a crinkle scarf. Crinkle scarves are great because they're not as flowy or as drapey as chiffon scarves are, which is the one I'm wearing right now. And so if you're washing dishes, if you're moving around a lot, which happens when you're at home doing chores, etc., it's less likely to fall off of your head or off of your shoulder. And so you sort of maintain your dignity in that way. That's one statement piece that has really helped me. It's not the most stylish, and so this is an aspect that I want to invest more into. And so I can make a follow-up video of how I've changed my wardrobe to fit the lifestyle that I have. The second one is loungewear. So I have a really nice set of full sleeve loungewear that I wear, and I get complimented on this so much. It's very comfortable, it's very cozy, but it's also very stylish. And it allows me to be stylish and to look good in the house whilst needing to maintain my modesty. And I think that's a game changer. The third one I have is a jilbab. And this is perfect for moments in the day where I'm wearing, let's say, a half sleeve t-shirt, right? And I want to go outside into the kitchen or upstairs to do something. And I cannot be bothered with thinking about what I should wear on top so that I'm fully covered. And so a jilbab is perfect in those moments because you just put that on and you're set to go. So that is another suggestion that I would have. The third piece of advice that I would have is to try and come up with a protocol or a routine that allows you to be hijab free at certain times in the day. So for example, me and my husband, we tend to wake up super early in the morning at like 5 a.m. And so there's a good 4 hours until my brother-in-law wakes up and has any potential of interaction with me. And so during those 4 hours, I wear whatever, I have my hair out, I'm going around the house, I don't really have a care. I always keep my crinkle scarf with me, just in case. You never know. Okay, you never know. But I am very rest assured in those hours because I know that he won't be awake. And so I can do whatever. As you live on in your in-laws' house and as you maintain a routine, you will find pockets of time where it'll be very, very unlikely that a non-mehram comes up out of nowhere and you are sort of exposed. And so I would suggest to really capitalize on those moments. One such moment for me with that is almost every day at 6:15, my father-in-law comes home from work and that's when we all have dinner. And so I know that from the time between 5:30 to 6:15, no one is going to be downstairs. It's just going to be me setting up the food, putting out the plates, etc., for us to have dinner. And so in those moments, I will sort of be hijab free. And that works a lot better because I hate washing dishes and doing chores whilst my hijab is like falling all over the place and my sleeves are going into food, etc. I hate that so much. And so those moments are a major blessing. The fourth tip that I have is understanding that there will be slip up. There will be moments where you are without your hijab and you're chilling somewhere or you're doing something and all of a sudden this non-mehram will pop out of nowhere and there will be like a scrambling of, sorry, there's going to be apologies and there's going to be like embarrassment and red cheeks and all of that. That will happen, and most likely it'll happen a couple of times and it'll be quite embarrassing, but these moments will really help create a pavement for a better relationship moving forward. There have been many moments where I have been in the kitchen washing dishes, doing something, and then my brother-in-law popped out of nowhere and I didn't have my hijab on. And so, there's like an immediate turning around, like turning his back to me and apologizing and me kind of covering up and being like, it's okay now. That will happen, but that has really allowed us to be more aware of each other. And my brother-in-law actually, before he comes down to grab whatever from the kitchen, he actually knocks on the staircase, and that is a cue for him to say, I'm coming down, can you please cover up? And so he knocks, I tell him, give me 1 minute, I cover up, and then I'm like, it's okay to come down now. So that is, it's so relieving to have that. Sometimes he forgets though. If he forgets, I will kind of call out when someone's coming down the stairs, hey, who's that? And then he'll be like, oh, sorry, it's me. And I'll be like, okay, give me 1 minute. Sometimes I won't hear him come down because I'm listening to something, I'm in my own head. And so those moments will once again remind us that we need to be careful around each other. So these things will happen, but just know that it will get better. It won't be as awkward the second and third time around. And you guys will better adjust to that and it'll help you form a better relationship together. Tip number 5 is to lean on your spouse. So there will be moments where you will feel deflated. Your self-esteem will lower. You will not feel as pretty. You will need reassurance, essentially, is all I'm trying to say. You will need reassurance from your partner that you are beautiful, that you are looking great always. And it's recommended that you speak to your husband or your partner about these issues that you're going through, about the fact that you're struggling with wearing the hijab at home. And if he is someone who you have a really good relationship with, he will give you reassurance and he will help you out in these times. And I think you trying to preserve your beauty, not just for Allah, but you also end up doing it for your husband, it will help your relationship deepen further. And moments where you are truly in your natural state and you're looking your best self, he will appreciate those more because those moments are a bit rarer than you would expect a married couple to have. Tip number 6 is to try and have an ensuite. Ensuites are game changers, okay? So when I used to live upstairs with my husband, we did not have a bathroom attached to our bedroom. And so, I would need to suit up to go all the way to the bathroom and then suit up again to leave the bathroom to come back into our bedroom. And it was just really annoying. And I got rid of a huge amount of annoyance just by moving into a room with a bathroom in it. It's crazy how much of a difference it made. For me, my room is my safe place. It's the room where I can dress up however I want, and I don't have to worry about a non-Mehram coming up out of nowhere and seeing me in my natural state. It's your safe space. And so if you have a bathroom attached to that makes things easier. I can get up in the morning looking however, and I have a bathroom next door, and I don't need to sort of suit up to go outside to do my morning routine, to do my skincare. It makes a huge difference. I feel like it also just enhances your femininity exponentially. Now, if your room is big enough to have a little tea station, a pantry with some food, that's great. I would suggest that as well, just because you can create sort of a home within a home. Those are sort of the tips that I have to live with a non-Mehram as a hijabi. Know that it gets easier. Really try to have moments where you guys maybe go out often. Maybe you guys go on weekend trips where you can sort of be in your natural state in a hotel room or in an Airbnb. Try to have more of those moments. If you can, go visit your house where your parents live and go there with your husband, because then you can sort of dress up in the natural element that you would have at your parents' house, and he'll get to see that beauty of yours. Also, I think I just kind of am a bit more bubbly in my parents' house, and so he gets to see that, and it's nice. So yeah, those are the suggestions that I would give. And lastly, I understand that it's not the easiest to be in the situation that you're in, to have to cover up all the time, to have to think about whether your wrists are showing or whether your neck is showing when you go outside your room. But there is also a lot of joy in this sort of family dynamic. I live with 3 other people in this house. And so I have a really beautiful relationship with my sister-in-law, and we are really, really good friends, and we hang out all the time. And I wouldn't have that if I was living separately. Similarly, sometimes the 4 of us, so me, my husband, my brother-in-law, and my sister-in-law, will go out and we'll go get something to eat. And that's always nice. There's a bit of banter there. It sort of balances out me. I'm hanging out with my husband, my sister-in-law is hanging out with my brother-in-law, or I'm hanging out with my sister-in-law, and my husband and my brother-in-law are hanging out together. Yes, there will be moments of chagrin, if you will, but there will also be really beautiful moments. You sort of live in a house with housemates, basically. There will be the annoyances that come with that, but there will also be really, really lovely moments, and a house that is never empty. You never have to feel alone because there's so many other people in this house. So yeah, maybe think about that. See the positives in the situation you're in. Make the most of it, and just know that you're getting a lot of reward, a huge reward, for covering up whilst in the presence of non-Mehrams that live in the house with. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'd love to answer them. Good luck on your journey living with your in-laws with a non-Mehram attached, and hope you have a good day today.